Hey yo, Bradley here with the Illuminati Madden League. For those who are not familiar with the Illuminati Madden League, we are a PlayStation 5 Madden 23 CFM. We are a media driven CFM with daily content and weekly shows. And we are coming at it right now with a with a very special sit down look at things, right? Um, it is currently 1:56 a.m. Eastern Time, Wednesday, March 15th. And tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, our second Super Bowl will be going down live over at twitch.tv/ Snipes Television. The man, the myth, the legend, Snipes himself will be hosting our second Super Bowl, and he'll be running commentary on it. We may have some other special stuff lined up for that as well. We'll see. We'll see. I'm still trying to swing a few things in the 11th hour, but we're really excited for this Super Bowl. Snipes did our first bowl. Was not alone for that bowl. He was joined by Nick Menzesko in our first Super Bowl. That was our first Super Bowl. You try and I don't know, man. It was really special to me. It was a great game. Both of the guys in the first Super Bowl played a great game. The first Super Bowl saw Luar and his Bills collide with H. Coke and his Panthers, with the H. Coke and his Panthers going over and winning the bowl in our first season. Fast forward to season two. The reigning defending world Super Bowl champion of the world, H. Coke and his Panthers, they failed to deliver and they did not even make the playoffs. And while H. Coke and his Panthers failed to make the playoffs in season two, Luar did not disappoint. Luar and his Bills, not only did they make the playoffs, but I think they're like the one seed in the AFC. They're like the one seed in the AFC, and they made it all the way to the AFC Championship, where they just couldn't get it done. They fell short in the AFC Championship, and yeah. So going into this for our second Super Bowl, we'll feature two completely different teams in the first rodeo. This time around, representing the AFC, we will have Steady and his Dolphins. On the NFC side of things, we will have Jumper and his Eagles. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I think I know where I'm going to go. I've got a crap ton of information for us to kind of dissect in this preview of our second Super Bowl, because that's what we're doing right now. We're kind of looking at the second Super Bowl, our second Super Bowl that's coming up. We're looking at it, and we're diving into all the details of the matchup, and we're going to make a prediction. I think I know where I'm going with my prediction. I'm not 100% positive yet. We've got all the information. We're going to go through the information. So maybe the information will sway where I'm leaning, right? I don't know. We'll see. I think the majority of the league, um, if you were to ask them, who do you have in this? I think the majority of the people within the league would end up going with Steady. We actually have run kind of like a poll in our community server, and that poll in the community server went up a couple hours ago, and currently 18 people have voted that they think Steady is going to win the bowl, while two people have voted that they think Jumper is going to win the bowl. So going into this game, um, Going into this game, Steady is hands-on the favorite. He is the favorite. He's the guy that everybody's looking to. And normally I'm very much like, let's go with the underdog, right? Let's go with the underdog. Let's stir up some drama. That's usually my take. I don't know if that's my take in this one though. Like I want to root for Jumper, but I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can do it. I don't know if I can root against Steady. I'm I'll tell you. I'll tell you right now. I'll tell you right now. I'm leaning towards Steady. Like we're gonna go through this information. There are some points within this information though that might sway me the other way. It might sway me the other way as we kind of dissect it. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Oh man, let's just get into this, right? Let's just get into this. Let's let the information speak for itself. We're gonna dive into all the information. We're gonna look at everything. We're gonna break down these teams. So right off the bat, let's start by checking out the starting lineup for the Miami Dolphins. So the starting lineup of the Miami Dolphins. When you look at this starting lineup, it doesn't look like anything too special right off the bat. Probably the most notable thing when you look at this, they've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 rookies in their starting lineup. When you talk about the Miami Dolphins in Madden 23, like the first thing you think about is Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, right? And they got Tua at quarterback. Steady has gotten rid of Tua. Tua is long gone. He's got a rookie quarterback. While he's got a rookie quarterback, like don't underestimate these rookies. Steady has taken these rookies and he's made these rookies into stars. The rookie quarterback that he's rolling with, Logan Brooks, he's an 83 overall, but he's devved him all the way up to an X Factor. And I'm pretty sure dude started as normal dev. I think the actual process of deving him, right? I think the only thing he actually devved like through actual play was Superstar to X Factor. We have a currency program within the league, and through the currency program, I believe Steady was able to buy the normal to star and the star to superstar dev upgrades. But he actually earned the X Factor dev upgrade. And so he's got Logan Brooks, the rookie Logan Brooks, at quarterback. At running back, he has another rookie, Raekwon Randall. Raekwon Randall, I believe, what is he? I think he's just a normal dev. He's either normal or star. He doesn't have abilities. While Raekwon Randall does not have abilities, Steady does have another rookie wide receiver that in his starting lineup, coming in as a slot receiver, Kelly and Fitzsimmons. Like Raekwon Randall, Fitzsimmons does not have abilities. However, Fitzsimmons is a 96 speed, 6 foot tall wide receiver. So Kelly and Fitzsimmons, this 96 speed wide receiver, is paired with Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. The speed that Steady has at wide receiver is absolutely ridiculous. It's not just at wide receiver. Raekwon Randall, the rookie running back, has 95 speed as well. So he's got the X Factor rookie quarterback. He's got a speedster rookie running back. He's got a speedster rookie wide receiver that's that's paired with his two speedster wide receivers, Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. However, it gets even more crazy, right? It gets even more crazy. So, tight end. At tight end, Steady has a rookie, 79 overall. However, 79 overall, the tight end has 93 speed. 93 speed. He's 6'5", and he's devved him up to an X Factor. This dev up to an X Factor was not one like Logan Brooks, where he bought devs through the currency program. This is legitimate. He devved the guy. I think when he drafted him, I believe he was superstar when he first drafted him, and he devved him up to X Factor. Or no, actually, I think he might have been star when he first drafted him. I believe he might have been star when he first drafted him, and then he devved him up to superstar, and then the end of year awards leading up to the Super Bowl. Saw Donald Watson go up another dev up to X Factor. So this offensive lineup that he has, right? There's rookie stars all over, rookie star players, rookie studs all over, and then he's also got a rookie at right guard, 72 overall. Really nothing special there. This offense that Steady has is absolutely ridiculous. There is speed absolutely everywhere, right? He's got the X Factor rookie quarterback, and then he's got the 93 speed tight end. He's got the 95 speed running back. He's got 3 speedster receivers. This team is just absolutely incredible. Defensive side of the ball, though. The defensive side of the ball for this team, it leaves something to be desired. I mean, you break down this defense, right? And there's you break it down, and there's really no holes, right? There's no glaring weakness. I take that back. There is kind of one sus point of this defense, and we'll talk about it. But you break this defense down, and there's not a lot of weak points, but there's not a point you'll look at it and it's okay, this one player takes away half of the field. You got to stay away from this one player on offense, right? There is no star player like that. There is no legitimate one-man wrecking crew, right? This defense is very much a manageable defense. If I was to say that there was one kind of sus area of this defense, is the secondary. He's got Xavier Howard, right? He's got Xavier Howard, 92 overall. One of his only 2 players on defense that are above 90 overall. I believe he's got a defensive tackle as well. That's 91 overall. But Xavier Howard is 92 overall. And then behind Xavier Howard, he has a rookie corner that's an 83 overall. And then behind Xavier Howard and the rookie corner, this secondary is not looking too great. The secondary is not looking too great. At safety, he's starting a 70 overall player. Free safety, I apologize. Free safety, he's starting Joey Blunt, 70 overall. And then strong safety, he's starting a 72 overall. So his pair of safeties, he's got 70 overall, 72 overall. So if there's one glaring weak spot on it, it's that. But I don't think it matters. I don't think it matters. I don't think the no glaring strength on defense. I don't think it's going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter at all. And let's continue to break things down. So we talked about the rookie quarterback, right? Logan Brooks has had an absolutely saying he had an absolutely amazing season is underselling it. Logan Brooks should have been the MVP of the league. He got robbed. This rookie quarterback that is now an X Factor threw on the year 5,960 yards. He had 57 passing touchdowns to 23 interceptions. Steady is it's no secret. Steady is a passing team. Running wise, he does have that rookie speedster running back Raekwon Randall. Raekwon Randall ran the ball 262 times on the year with 1,064 yards and 12 touchdowns. So he's not a run first team by any means. He runs them enough though to make you respect it, right? He runs enough to make you respect the run, and you have to account for this running back. The guy's got 95 speed, right? You have to account for him. While Steady Strength is not running, while he is not a running team, it's okay. It's okay. He doesn't need insane production from his running back because these targets that he has in the receiving game, it's something else. These guys, this team, this stable of receivers, the stable of weapons that he has, second to absolutely nobody. He's got Tyreek Hill, needs no introduction. He's got Jalen Waddle, needs no introduction. And then he's got the rookie wide receiver, Kelly Fitzsimmons, 6 foot tall, 96 speed, pairs perfectly with Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And then he's got the X Factor tight end, Donald Watson. That's basically Kyle Pitts light, right? And then you begin to dissect the numbers that these guys have put up, right? I feel like when you begin to dissect Steady's offense, like it's very clear what he does. It's very clear what he does and kind of how he's going to attack you. And I'm going to tell you exactly how Steady is going to attack. He's got 2 guys going deep the entire time, and he's got 2 guys staying a little bit more shallow. Like that's what it is. He's got 2 guys going deep, taking the top off, and he's got 2 staying a little bit more shallow. And when he hikes the ball, he's going to look for those 2 guys going deep, and then if they're not open, he's going to check it down to Donald Watson, and he's going to end up checking it down more times than not to Donald Watson. He's going to play it safe. He's going to play it smart. But look at these numbers. So Tyreek Hill, at first glance, looks like the leading receiver. I don't think he is, though. He's got 67 receptions with 1,706 yards and 24 touchdowns. It is the most touchdowns on the team, the most receiving yards on the team. However, the 67 receptions is not the most receptions, not even close. The target with the most reception is Donald Watson with 93 receptions. Donald Watson is Steady's favorite target. Do not be deceived. Tyreek Hill is not Steady's number 1 option. Jalen Waddle is not Steady's number 1 option. It's not Kelly Fitzsimmons. It is Kyle Pitts light. It is Donald Watson, his rookie tight end. That is his number 1 receiver. While it's his number 1 receiver, I don't think Donald Watson is the first thing he looks at. I think he hikes the ball and he's sending Tyreek and Jalen deep. He's sending Tyreek and Jalen deep. He's going to look for them deep. And if they're not open, he's gonna check it down to Donald Watson. He's going to check it down to Donald Watson. If he ain't got Donald Watson open, he's going to check it down to Kelly Fitzsimmons. And if you look at Kelly Fitzsimmons' numbers, so when you look at Kelly Fitzsimmons' numbers, and it looks like he's like the bottom rung guy in this stable of receivers. But Kelly Fitzsimmons, I think, is the best kept secret in the league. He's the best kept secret in the league. He's got 855 yards. Donald Watson has 1,565. Tyreek has 1,706. Jalen Waddle has 1,303. So Waddle, Hill, and Watson, they're all over 1,000 yards. Fitzsimmons falls short of that 1,000 yards by 145 yards. He falls short 145 yards of 1,000. However, do not let that deceive you. Kelly Fitzsimmons plays a huge part in this offense. How many receptions does Jalen Waddle have? Jalen Waddle has 54 receptions on the year. How many receptions does Kelly Fitzsimmons have? Kelly Fitzsimmons has 66 receptions on the year. That is more than 10 receptions, more than 10 more catches than Jalen Waddle. Kelly Fitzsimmons has more than 10 more catches on the year than Jalen Waddle. And so Fitzsimmons has 66 receptions. How many receptions does Tyreek Hill have? Tyreek Hill has 67. So Kelly Fitzsimmons has 1 less reception on the year than Tyreek Hill. Do not be deceived. Like you look at Steady's team, right? You look at Steady's team on paper, and you think that Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle are the number 2 guys you should be looking at, while Kelly Fitzsimmons and Donald Watson are out here being workhorses. The thing about it though is there's not a lot you can do about it, because if you try and double up on Kelly and Fitzsimmons, you try and double up on Donald Watson, these guys are playing more shallow. These guys are playing more shallow. They're on the shorter routes. So, like, are you going to double cover that? Are you going to employ extra manpower into stopping this when there's Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill going deep? You can't do that. You're going to give Steady free touchdowns if you try and accommodate and take out Fitzsimmons and Watson. Like, really, all you can do is just pray he makes a mistake. That's all you can do. That's all you can do. Steady is the definition of an offensive clinic. Steady is the definition of an offensive clinic, and he's got the perfect stable of weapons for it. He's got Jalen Waddle, Tyreek Hill going deep every play, and he's got Fitzsimmons and Watson playing a bit more shallow, just feeding off of what's open from the defenses having to accommodate Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. And you have to accommodate Waddle and Hill. Like, if you do not accommodate them, he is going to destroy you with them. In the AFC Championship, we'll talk more about it in a bit, but in the AFC Championship, Steady destroyed Luar 56-21. I think a big part of Steady destroying Luar in that massive blowout in the AFC Championship was Luar not properly accommodating, not properly responding to Jalen Waddle and Tyreek Hill. Luar tried running cover 2 on Steady. Luar tried running just pure man defense on Steady. You can't do that. You cannot run pure man defense on Steady. You cannot run cover 2 on Steady. You cannot run cover 2 on Steady with the entire deep part of the field still all the way out there, right? Like, maybe if you've got a shallow field, you can run a cover 2 against Steady, but when the top's wide open, you can't run cover 2 against Steady. You can't do it. Like, really, if you're going to play Steady, what you should do is go into custom playbook, right? Go and pull up your defense and just remove all the pure man coverage and remove all the pure cover 2 defense, because you cannot run that on Steady. You try and run that on Steady, you're just going to give them a free touchdown. It is an absolute offensive clinic that Steady has going on with this team. On the defensive side of the ball, kind of looking at the defensive side of things, we're not going to break down the defense too heavily. These two defenses, the production is pretty evenly matched, right? But probably the main thing that sticks out about Steady's defense, and this is also true for Jumper's defense, and we'll talk about it when we get to Jumper, but Steady's defense, it's been a sack clinic. Altogether on the year, these Dolphins have 55.5 sacks. Bradley Chubb has accommodated 11 sacks, and Christian Wilkins has accommodated 7.5 sacks. It's absolute sack clinic. There's going to be a crap ton of sacks in this game. My guess, we're going to see over 5 sacks on the day. Maybe that's low, maybe that's high, but I'm saying there's going to be minimum of 5 sacks on this game between both teams. Shifting gears though, and looking at Jumper, unlike Steady, there's not rookies all over the place. However, there is a rookie, and probably just like Steady, the most important player for this Eagles team is a rookie. The running back for the Eagles, Joe Grove, is an X Factor. I believe he's an X Factor. He's an X Factor rookie running back. 95 speed, 96 acceleration. Absolute monster. He is an absolute monster. Beyond the rookie running back, there's not a lot of rookies on this team. However, like the Dolphins, a lot of this team is not stock. Both of these guys, Steady and Jumper, have both made a lot of moves. They've made the team their own. The number one receiver, and we'll talk about it as we kind of break things down more in depth. But the number one receiver for the Eagles is Jerry Jeudy. We'll talk about it. The quarterback for the team is excuse me. The quarterback for the team is Deshaun Watson. I think really the biggest difference though between these two teams are the defenses. This defense is that Jumper has here is something. He's got a 93 speed left end. Right end, he's got Josh Sweat, which has had an absolutely amazing year. 92 overall. Defensive tackles, he's got an 86 overall defensive tackle, an 85 overall defensive tackle. Left end, he's got Hassan Reddick, 92 overall. He's got a rookie middle linebacker, a 92 speed rookie middle linebacker. He's got Jermaine Pratt, right outside linebacker. The corners for this team, he's got James Bradbury the fourth, 88 overall. He's got Avonte Maddox, 86 overall. And then he has Paulson Abdebabu. I totally butchered that. But his nickel corner is 80 overall. And his dime corner as well is a rookie cornerback that is 80 overall as well. Free safety, he's got 99 overall, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Strong safety, he's got 92 overall, CJ Gardner-Johnson. This defense, I think, is going to create some interesting matchups. We're going to save it, though, for after we kind of break down the rest of this team. We're going to come back and talk more about this defense. Quarterback play. Steady offensive clinic, right? Steady is an offensive clinic. Jumper, not quite so much. Jumper does what he does well. You get Jumper outside of his box of what he does well, and he has struggles. Jumper started the year with a rookie quarterback. He ended up trading that rookie quarterback, and then he signed Deshaun Watson out of free agency. Deshaun Watson played for the Eagles for 8 games. In those 8 games, Deshaun Watson accumulated 1,468 yards with 14 touchdowns and 22 interceptions. That might not seem like anything too significant, but let's break this down. There are major concerns here. 1,468 yards over 8 games is an average of 183 and a half yards. That's not going to get it done. There is a narrative that has been built around Jumper, and that is that Jumper's just going to run the ball on you, right? Jumper's going to run the ball on you, and the word on the street is Jumper cannot pass the ball. $183 and a half yards average per game. That is a concern. But, I mean, when your running back is putting over 2,000 yards on the year, is it a concern? I mean, you play someone who stops to run and then you got to pass. It's definitely a concern. 14 touchdowns. What is more concerning, though? It's not the yards. It's not the average yards per game. The thing that is most concerning is 22 interceptions. 22 interceptions over 8 games. That rounds up to about 3 interceptions a game. That's not going to get it done. That's not going to get it done. Um, the NFC Championship game, Jumper played a nearly perfect game. He seemed to pass pretty well in that game. In that game, he only threw one interception, and I think that one interception wasn't his fault. That one interception was just bad Madden, right? Madden doing what Madden does and screwing people over. Um, so it's capable. Jumper is capable of going out and playing a perfect game. Can he do it against Steady though? And the NFC Championship, it was a game where Jumper was able to control the pace of the game through the entire game. I don't think Jumper is going to be able to control the game like he did against Jordan with Steady. I think Steady is going to be able to more than match what Jumper is going to do. Jordan was not able to match what Jumper did in the NFC Championship game. Jumper in the NFC Championship game was able to get multiple defensive stops. He was able to get turnovers. He was able to force punts multiple times. This allowed Jumper to control the pace of the game, control the clock, and just control the momentum. I don't think it's possible for Jumper to do what he did to Jordan against Steady. Steady is an offensive clinic. What is going to happen when Jumper is matched up toe-to-toe with an offensive clinic? Will we see Jumper do what he did in the NFC Championship game and play a nearly perfect game? Or will we see an average of almost 3 interceptions a game? Because if he throws 3 interceptions against Steady, he's not winning. While Jumper has his struggles, he does what he does very well. Joe Grove, the rookie running back, 328 attempts on the year, 2,283 yards, an average of nearly 7 yards a carry, 26 touchdowns. This running back is absolutely incredible. I was able to sit down with Steady for an interview about this upcoming game. I tried to get with Jumper to sit down with Jumper as well. We weren't able to make that happen, but we were able to sit down with Steady. And Steady acknowledged Joe Grove very clearly. Right. I believe Steady was asked in the interview how is he going to stop Joe Grove, and I think the sentiment was like Joe Grove can't be stopped. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong, but I'm wanting to say like that was kind of the boiling pot of it. Like Joe Grove can't be stopped. I don't think you need to stop Joe Grove though. I don't think you need to stop him. Like if you can like. I think all Steady needs is Jumper to make one mistake, right? Jumper make one mistake early, and Steady go up, force Jumper to play the game playing down, right? Get him out of his comfort zone. Joe Grove, absolutely incredible year. If Jumper does what Jumper does with Joe Grove against Steady, like he has to do what he does with Joe Grove against Steady. He has to play perfect. He has to play mistake free. Receiving wise, with Steady, we had a full screen of targets. Jumper, we only got one here. Jumper's leading receiver, 53 receptions. Steady had 3 targets with more receptions than that, I believe. Or was it 4? Let's see. Yeah. All 4 of Steady's leading receivers have more receptions on the year than Jumper's leading receiver, Jerry Jeudy. All four of them have more receptions than Jerry Jeudy. Jerry Jeudy has less receptions than all four of Steady's leading receivers. And Jerry Jeudy failed to hit 1,000 yards on the year, and this is his leading receiver. Not a single one of Jumper's receivers break 1,000 yards on the year. Not a single one of Jumper's receivers have more receptions than Steady's number 4 target. Jumper's going to run the ball, and then when he's forced to not run the ball, I don't know what's going to happen. Like, Steady is just this offensive clinic. Jumper is just going to run the ball. We talked about Steady's sack production. Jumper has very similar sack production, 50 total team sacks. Hassan Reddick has 14 sacks. Josh Sweat has 11 team sacks. So these two guys, like talking about it, right? Talking about this game, I think the narrative is pretty clear. The narrative is that Steady's most likely going to put a number on Jumper. These two guys, they did meet though. They did meet early on in the season. Week 2 actually. Let's look at this. Week 2 they met, and it was actually Jumper that got the win. Jumper ended up winning 37-14. And this is something. This is an element. This is an element that Steady talked about in the interview that I sat down with him on. And Steady's point of view about this game, kind of his response to it was, the team that he had in week 2 is not the team that he has now. When we broke down Steady's team, right, he had rookies everywhere. Logan Brooks, week 2, was not what Logan Brooks is in the Super Bowl. He's devved him from normal all the way up to X Factor. He turned him from a lackluster draft pick to, because that's what Logan Brooks was at the start of the year. He was a lackluster draft pick. Like, you looked at him and like you're like, this guy, he's got a rookie quarterback, but it's probably like the bummest rookie quarterback of all the rookie quarterbacks, because there's a lot of rookie quarterbacks in the league. Steady, though, developed him up. What he was week 2 is not what he is now. Donald Watson, his tight end, is not what he is now. Kellyanne Fitzsimmons was still kind of like finding his way, right? The running back was still kind of finding his way, and like all these rookies, right? And we say they're kind of finding their way, but they've had an entire season of production, right? A quarterback like Deshaun Watson, the season of production is not going to matter. However, or a season of development is not going to matter. But a season of development for a team that's starting like 5 rookies on offense, it's night and day. And that was kind of like the sentiment that Steady kind of had to say. Like, the team he had in week 2 is not the team he has now. He said he was confident that he would win this game. I think all signs point towards Steady winning this game. However, there are 2 major things I think that Steady needs to overcome in this game. One, the obvious thing that he's going to have to overcome is Joe Grove. Joe Grove in week 2 put up over 200 yards on Steady. Steady can say the team he had in week 2 is not the team he has now, but in the end of the day, just like how Steady's had an entire season to develop things, Joe Grove has had an entire season to develop as well. Day 1, week 2, Joe Grove was not X Factor. Joe Grove is X Factor now. Joe Grove pre-X Factor put up over 200 yards on the ground on Steady, and all those offensive players that Steady has developed had nothing to do with the production of Joe Grove in week 2. Can Steady stop Joe Grove? I don't think he can. I do not think Steady can stop Joe Grove. Joe Grove, I'm calling it now, will have over 200 yards on Steady. I don't think that's going to be the deciding factor, though. We can count assure that Joe Grove is going to do what Joe Grove does. However, the most important thing for Jumper on offense is not Joe Grove putting up 200 yards. The most important thing for Jumper on offense is to play mistake-free. That's the most important thing. He did it against Jordan in the NFC Championship. If he can do it against Jumper, I think he will win. However, steady is not Jordan. All of those 4 and outs or 3 and outs or all of those punt situations that Jumper created against Jordan, I don't think he's going to be able to do that against Steady. I don't see Steady punting in this game. I do not see Steady punting in the Super Bowl one time. Those change in possessions that came from punts, it's not going to happen in this game. Jumper is not going to be able to rely on that. His defense is not going to stop Steady's offense by holding him to a punting situation. If Jumper is going to stop Steady's offense, it's going to have to be in that secondary. And when you break down Jumper's secondary, he's got the personnel. The keys for Jumper, Joe Grove's got to have over 200 yards. He's got to play mistake-free. Don't throw picks. Play smart. And then probably the most important thing that is going to matter the most out of everything, Jumper's secondary has to live up to what they are on paper. Jumper's dime corner. Let me double look at this real quick to make sure I'm not getting this information wrong. I'm not. Jumper's dime, right? Jumper's dime is an 80 overall. He's got a 99 overall free safety. He's got a 92 overall strong safety. Steady's an offensive clinic. He's going to dot the ball all up and down the field. However, as he's dotting the ball up and down the field, this secondary has to step up. The most important matchup, I think, in this game is going to be Steady's weapons versus Jumper's secondary. Who wins this game, I think, comes down to who wins the matchup of the weapons versus the secondary. I think that's the most important matchup in this game. And as we're kind of breaking this down, I said kind of like before we got going, I kind of made it clear that I was leaning towards Steady. And I feel like I've talked myself up. I've talked myself into this. And Steady, I love you, but I've talked myself into this. I'm going with Jumper. I'm going with Jumper in the Super Bowl. I'm going with Jumper in the Illuminati Bowl 2. Bowl 1. I picked H-Coke. So far in Illuminati Super Bowls, I'm 1-0. 1-0. I'm 1-0. I would love at the end of the cycle to be like, I'm 5-0, man. I'm 5-0. So Jumper. No troll. A lot of times, listen, I'm going to be completely honest with the league. Okay, I'm going to be completely honest with the league. Sometimes I say things just to troll you guys, right? Sometimes I say things just to troll you guys. Like, half the time, I don't mean what I really say. I say what I say to piss people off. That's what I do. However, right here in this moment, no troll. I believe what I'm saying. Jumper is going to win the Illuminati Super Bowl 2. He's going to play mistake-free. He's not going to throw interceptions. Deshaun Watson has averaged nearly 3 interceptions a game in the regular season. However, in the NFC Championship, when it mattered most, there was only 1 interception, and it was a fluke dumb pass, dumb animation that Madden gave him that was completely out of his control. There was nothing he could do. Madden was just like, yeah, hey, what's up? How you doing? Hi. Like that's what that play was. Jumper played a perfect game in the NFC Championship, and he's going to play a perfect game again here in the Super Bowl. He's going to be perfect. He's going to be mistake-free. He's going to be cautious. He's not going to make mistakes in the secondary. The secondary whose dime corner, the secondary whose dime is an 80 overall, and it has a 99 overall free safety and 92 overall strong safety, is going to win enough plays to get it done. The secondary doesn't have to win all the plays, because that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. The secondary is not going to win all the plays because it's an offensive game. Steady is going to light the scoreboard up. It's going to be a high-scoring game on both ends. In the end of the day, though, I think this secondary, this unprecedented, unmatched, unrivaled, probably the best secondary in the league, I think they get it done. You know, when Jumper traded Jalen Hurts, dude got so much crap by the league, right? People gave him such a hard time, and Jumper's response was, I got a 99 overall free safety. Who's the dumb one now? If he wins a Super Bowl on the back of this secondary, and kind of looking at these matchups too, Jumper's defense is perfect for Steady's offense. On the other side of the ball, you flip the narrative, you look at it from the other lens. How does Steady's defense match up against Jumper's offense? Can they stop Joe Grove? I don't think so. I got Jumper in this, guys. So maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm right. If you think I'm wrong, let me know. I'm sure you will. But I love you all. The bowl goes down tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, twitch.tv/Snipes Television. Be there. Subscribe to Snipes when you get there, right? Throw him some gifted subs too, right? Pop in and show Snipes love. If you don't show Snipes love, I'll know, and I'll just ban you from the league. We'll replace you. We got 200 guys on the waiting list. I'm joking. I won't replace you for that. Maybe I will. I don't know. We'll see. But I love you guys. I'm ready for this bowl. Let's get it. Jumper, Steady. Kind of the breakdown of everything aside, I want you both to know I could not be more proud to have both of you guys representing the league in our second Super Bowl. You are both core members of the community that we have, and I am appreciative of everything both of you guys bring to the league. I wouldn't want to do this without either of you guys, so thank you guys for being here, and legit good luck to both of you guys. Whoever wins, I'm just hoping for a beautiful, amazingly contested game, right? You guys get it done. Good luck. Peace.